Good morning. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, and it is a white day. Sophomores, are you interested in developing your leadership and teamwork skills? The Rotary Youth Leadership Award Conference will be taking place in person this year on June 24th to 26th at NVU Linden. For more information or to pick up an application, stop by the guidance office. The Gender and Sexuality Union meets today after school in Colby 207. Interested in job opportunities in Vermont? Check in with Mr. Carr via email at acarr@stjacademy.org for more information on the virtual Vermont job fairs. The Makerspace will be open this afternoon starting at 3:45 for Codecraft Club and anyone who would like to stop in. Check out our 3D pens, 3D printers, laser cutter, and more. The Makerspace is on the first floor of Streeter Hall opposite the woodshop. See Dr. Desjardins with questions or to arrange an alternate time to use our resources. This week, Salsa Steps will meet after conference period today in Newell Hall 25. Please join us as we practice salsa and bachata steps. Come get a little exercise and have fun dancing. The Canadian border is open and this year's outing club base jumping trip is on. We will be hurling ourselves from Montreal's highest building, the 743-foot IBM Marathon Tower. All trip participants must have their own parachute or squirrel suit and their own bail money. There is space for 10 participants, and permission slips can be picked up from Mr. Camilio, Mr. Bowen, or Mr. Viles. We leave on April 1st from Brandview Drive at 4 a.m. Again, we leave on April 1st from Brandview Drive at 4 a.m. Happy birthday today to Will Fowler, and a special happy birthday today to Mr. Eckhart from the Waterman crew. Happy birthday. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ashley. Good morning, everyone. I have a couple of visitors today and then some words, so I'm going to bring up Brooke White to talk about the sophomore class brackets.
Good morning. The St. J. March Madness Bracket Challenge has been a close competition for all who entered. Maybe you've picked some of the unexpected upsets to help secure your place, or maybe they have busted your bracket because of them. Here are the current standings that are subject to change as the best of the best faced off just before the big dance. On the men's competition side, Elizabeth Duranlu holds third place with 69 points. Jordan Strom is in second with 70 points, and the current first place bracket is Shane LaCroix with 75 points. For the women's competition, there is a three-way tie for third between Patricia Lang, the Katie Reed Advisory, and Kaya Anderson with 98 points. Justin Lewis is in second place with 106 points, and in first place with 114 points, Shane LaCroix also leads in first place in the bracket challenge. Best of luck to all competing as we head into the final four games.
All right, Mr. LaCroix, you've got some magic. So I'm delighted to bring up Mr. Eckel, Cece Sweeney, and Shelby Lizot. We say a lot and celebrate a lot about athletics up here, so I am delighted to be celebrating some academic triumph.
Join me. Thank you, Dr. Howell. Students and colleagues, I would like to ask your help celebrating the achievement of two members of our community at the Vermont Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Fair held last week. The Vermont STEM Fair is an opportunity for Vermont students to communicate their work investigating questions they identify and care about to peers and interested members of the larger community of science. At the fair, student work is evaluated by four knowledgeable people from science and industry. Judging is not about complexity or sophistication. Rather, the judges use a rubric that highlights how the scientific method, the scientific process of controlled observations and gathering of evidence is used. But before going further, I would like to take a moment to thank and recognize Mr. Logan Hansen, the capable and essential all things laboratory maestro in the science department, for the assistance he has given outside his normal hours in supporting the efforts to conduct independent research projects. It is through the creative effort of Mr. Hansen to identify and help assemble materials and methods that this work becomes possible. Science is a community effort, and with many supporting the work of research to generate the important results we celebrate today. So, I am thrilled to present to you two students, Shelby Lizot and Cece Sweeney, whose work has earned each significant recognition in the Vermont Science Fair. Shelby developed a study to answer the question, how does carbon dioxide and oxygen levels in radish plants' atmosphere affect its growth? Shelby developed methods to control and monitor the CO2 levels in which she grew radish plants. The evidence collection process she developed showed important differences in the amounts of biomolecules in the radish leaves that matched the measured differences in CO2 concentrations. For her work, Shelby has been awarded a $1,500 scholarship to continue her research at the New Hampshire Academy of Science Summer Institute for high school students. Congratulations, Shelby. Shelby, could you say a few words about what sparked your interest in the question of CO2 in the environment and plant growth?
Thank you, Mr. Eckel, and I want to say thank you again to Mr. Hansen, because I'm not sure about Sweeney, but he stayed behind and he helped me a lot after school with a lot of really important stuff, especially when I got stuck and I had to kill my plants a few times because I let them grow too long. So what inspired me to start this project was AP Environmental Science. We were learning a lot about CO2 in the atmosphere and how it could adversely affect our environment, but I wanted to know how it could affect our agriculture because I knew from previous science classes how the photosynthesis process worked, so I thought if more CO2 was coming into the plant, there could be some differences in it. I did some research and I found some interesting studies from NASA and from Arizona University, and overall it just seemed like a really interesting project, and that's where I got started with it.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelby. Now, Cece, your project was titled Identification of Microplastics in Soil Using Fluorescence, and it earned 2 recognitions and an amazing opportunity. Cece noticed that there was little research in how to easily detect microplastics in soil. As part of her capstone project this fall, Cece worked with experts at the New Hampshire Academy of Sciences to develop a technique using fluorescence to reliably measure the amount of microplastics in soil. The thoroughness of Cece's work earned her certificates of merit and accomplishment from the U.S. Metric Association, a group that studies how to measure things, and the Association of Women in Geosciences. Additionally, Cece's work validating her method of measurement of microplastics in soil has earned Cece what is the ultimate science fair honor. Cece will be one of 2 students to represent the state of Vermont at the International Science and Engineering Fair in Atlanta, Georgia in May, an incredible opportunity to network with peers and professionals in science. At the International Fair, over $4 million of prizes and scholarships will be awarded. Please help me recognize Cece for her work, her creativity, and her accomplishments. And Cece, if you would say a few words about the importance of understanding and measuring microplastics in the soil.
Hi, so as you said, my name is Cece Sweeney, and I recently submitted my capstone research to the Vermont STEM Fair and was selected to go on to the International Science and Engineering Fair this May. My research investigated the identification of microplastics in soil using fluorescence, which I was originally interested in because I'm really interested in just gardening and plants and that kind of thing. And microplastics in soil is something that would affect that a lot. And I got interested in it because I noticed, as I was looking for ideas, that there wasn't much research on microplastics in soil, only in microplastics in aquatic and marine environments. So I developed my idea and plan with help from Dr. Marcus Tesdorf from the New Hampshire Academy of Science, conducted background research in Mrs. McKenzie's AP Research class, and performed my research at the New Hampshire Academy of Science with Dr. Allison Michael. And I'd like to thank all of these people for guiding me, as well as Mr. Eckel for introducing me to this science fair and helping me through the process.
Thank you, Cece. It is through the inspired work of students such as Cece and Shelby that we will make our way through the daunting environmental challenges our world faces. Please join me one more time celebrating Cece and Shelby. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Eckel, and congratulations, Cece and Shelby. It's very exciting work you're doing, and we wish you so much luck at the fair. Good morning. I want to welcome a guest to chapel this morning and to campus this morning. Her name is Banaka Hansen. She's visiting with us for the day as a candidate for the role of Assistant Head for Academics. She'll visit with many of us and then be touring campus, so please give her a warm welcome if you see her. We have told her that the Academy is a special place. I think she's just seen some examples of that right now, and I believe that this is true from the bottom of my heart. I believe this is a school worth fighting for, with qualities worth preserving and protecting, and that's why I'm going to say some things to you this morning that might not be exactly suited to wooing a candidate, because they remind us that being special and being strong as a community is something that takes work, and it doesn't always go perfectly, and sometimes it goes badly. It's something that we have to be very vigilant to maintain. And from some of the things that I'm hearing from teachers and other staff about behavior from this past week, it sounds like we need to spend some time in the next 2 weeks remembering what we should be able to expect from each other. We'll be doing you a disservice if we don't remind you what we expect and then hold you to it and call you out when you have not met these expectations. These are such difficult times, I know that. We know that there is tremendous anxiety for good reasons, and I'm going to talk a little more about that tomorrow. Our hearts are hurting for the kinds of things that you have to worry about right now, the things that you're carrying. That doesn't give us permission to set aside basic good manners and basic decent treatment of others. In fact, the mess that exists right now beyond our campus makes it even more important for us to keep things orderly and sane and respectful on our campus. Our assumption is that you're going to respect your teachers, you're going to respect each other, and you're going to take the business of learning seriously. Cece and Shelby and Ashley and Brooke do not get to be where they are without taking learning seriously and taking themselves seriously. We're doing that for you right now, and honestly, some of you are not doing it adequately for us. That number of you are hurting the experience of everyone and discouraging, deeply discouraging some of the people who are here to help you. There are times that being silly and goofing around together is healthy and helpful, and we've seen a lot of that. But this is not a game. And to be serious people, you have to recognize the difference between the yard where you can toss a football around and the hallway of your school. Yes, we want you to feel excitement and joy in what you do here. We focus on those positive things as much as we can. But if you want us to take you seriously, take yourself seriously. You're not in grade school anymore. You're becoming an adult. Use respectful language. Take out your earbuds and look up and say good morning. When you walk around campus, look at each other, connect with each other, and the people who are here working day in and day out for your welfare. Please put away your phones during class without us having to ask you to do it. You know that that's what you're supposed to do. These rules and expectations really are not arbitrary, and maybe we need to spend some more time helping you understand why we ask you to do what we ask you to do, why we ask you to take your hats off indoors or keep your hair out of your eyes. We're not trying to torture you, we're trying to teach you. I think it's fair for you to have some explanations and for us to have some conversations about the rules, especially those of you who are new. We'll have a fashion show for the dress code. We'll do some other things to explain and take some joy in explaining those rules and how we got to them, because it's very interesting. But should we really have to explain to you that you should not ignore or speak disrespectfully to your teachers? Shouldn't you all know better than that, especially the juniors and seniors? I know that so many of you do, and I know that you will continue to do that and continue to lead by example. We are so eager for you to find joy in what you're doing and enjoy in being here at school together. You know we try to help you find that joy and that fun. But it doesn't mean that there aren't boundaries for what you can do and what you can't do. We wouldn't be doing what we're supposed to do if we didn't insist on those boundaries. This needs to be a place where every single person feels safe and feels that they belong, and we will not compromise on that. We will help you. We believe in you. That is why we are all here. I say often to people who are in tough places that if you had it all figured out, you wouldn't be here. We understand that. But we need you to work with us. We need you to respect our commitment to help you. If you want us to take you seriously, take yourselves seriously and help us understand what you need to be able to do that. We need to be in an atmosphere of respect and humility if any of us is going to succeed. So let's do that. Let's show our guest the best of us today, and let's keep showing each other the best of us. So I'm going to talk more specifically about all of this in the next few weeks, and I hope that in the meantime and ongoingly you will have conversations in advisory and in class. I know some of you already are. Please ask questions and share opinions and learn from each other. If we do this right, we get this right, we will all be a little bit better. So, thank you. Have a good day.